There's no neighborhood I know of in America where if you went around and asked people, would you rather your children had food stamps or paychecks, you wouldn't end up with a majority saying they'd rather have a paycheck. And so I'm prepared. I'll go to their convention and talk about why the African American community should demand paychecks and not be satisfied with food stamps.
How do you feel about the people of the state, the live free or die state, feel about the federal government telling them that they can or cannot grow marijuana? And would Jefferson or George Washington be arrested for growing marijuana?
I think Jefferson or George Washington would have rather strongly discouraged you from growing marijuana, and their techniques of dealing with it would have been rather more violent than the current government.
Which was clearly to use and give to their friends, was executed. Executed.
Executed.
Like you're visiting Singapore on vacation, executed. And you got executed. That is a terrible vacation.
Anyone over the age of 18 convicted of carrying more than 15 grams of heroin faces mandatory execution by hanging in Singapore. So Newt Gingrich says, if you're serious about the latter view, then we need to think through a strategy that makes it radically less likely that we're going to have drugs in this country. Places like Singapore have been the most successful at doing that. They've been very draconian, and they have communicated with great intention that they intend to stop drugs from coming into their country. So it appears that we're losing the war on drugs. The drugs are just as ample as they have always been. We've wasted a tremendous amount of money. We've imprisoned an enormous amount of folks. It isn't working, so Newt Gingrich's solution is mandatory execution. Okay, well that'll do it because the war on drugs wasn't vicious enough. It wasn't violent enough.
If you're talking about a drug kingpin, then fine. But these guys, he's talking about executing people with 15 grams of heroin.
Yep.
First of all, Newt, nobody goes to Singapore. Singapore sucks.
No,
Do you know why Singapore sucks? Because there's a good chance when you visit Singapore on vacation, oh, this is great, I'm gonna have some tea. Oh shit, I just got executed.
You know who goes to Singapore? Bankers. Because one thing, like if you've got illicit drugs or you spit gum onto the sidewalk, you're toast, right? But if you'd like to rob billions of dollars of money, they're like, Singapore's your place. If you're a high-level thief, Singapore's for you, okay? Now, of course, Singapore has upsides as well. It's a lovely place.
Barack Obama said the equivalent of this. Fox News would be talking about how Barack Obama wants to make the United States like Singapore. So Newt Gingrich wants to make the United States more like Singapore.
How dare he?
Yeah.
Is he apologizing for America? Does he not understand that America's number one? Trying to put us below Singapore, Newt Gingrich.
Listen, I really appreciate you raising that because it's a good example of how hard it is to take the world that works and bring it over to the world that fails. Okay?
This is like saying that we need a policeman in every house, a camera in every house. You can prevent crimes by becoming a police state. So if you advocate the police state, yes, you can have safety and security, and you might prevent a crime, but the crime then will be against the American people and against our freedoms, and we will throw out so much of what our revolution was fought for. So don't do it so carelessly.
Really poor children in really poor neighborhoods have no habits of working and have nobody around them who works. They have no habit of, I do this and you give me cash, unless it's illegal.
That's pretty good.